welcome to my channel, Everyday with Jackie. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please consider subscribing to my channel and ringing the notification bell so you're aware each and every time that I upload a video. And for those of you that are returning to the channel, it's good to see you as always. Thanks for joining me for today's video, where we will be talking about 6 products that I have had a change of heart about. So if you're interested in seeing what those products are, or if I've had a change of heart for the good or for the worse, then you'll have to keep watching. Okay, so jumping right into today's video, we're going to talk about 6 products that I have totally had a change of heart about. First is this Tatcha Silk Canvas. Now I have had this in my collection for quite a while now, and it's just never really been one of my favorite products. I've always said, I guess it's smoothing. Yeah, I really don't see that it's doing anything. Oh yeah, I think, yeah, it's doing a little something. I've always been indifferent about this product until I used it in one of my videos. And if I can find the video, or if I can remember which one it was, I will link it above in the cards. But I remember when I used it in that video, I said that, oh, I like the way my skin is looking. And that's because I always tell you guys I am very light-handed when it comes to my products, whether it's eyeshadow, face products. I'm just very light-handed. And in that particular video, when I was using the Tatcha Silk Canvas, I remember going in a little bit more heavier than I normally do. And not to say I was totally heavy-handed with the product. I just remember using more than I typically would, or more than I typically have been using. And when I did, I was putting it into the skin, and then I went in with my next product, and I just looked at the skin, and I was like, I am liking the way my skin is looking. It really did look smooth. It looked like it was blurring out my pores. And that was the very first time that I really took stock of this product and really liked how it was performing on my skin. And because of that, I have been using it more and more, and I've been using more than I typically do. I guess you just can't dab it on and then rub it in and think it's going to do anything. You have to use the product. And so I have taken stock of that as well, and I'll go in with a generous amount, not overboard, but I do go in with more than a dab, and then I massage it into my skin, and my skin looks so smooth. And now after I use it and I go in with my next product, I can really see the difference. It is very smoothing and blurring to the skin, and I am liking what it's doing. So this product I really have had a change of heart about, and the change has been for the better. Next, I want to talk to you about this Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. Now, you guys know I have talked trash about this product on my channel. I said I would never repurchase it again. I didn't see what the hype was, wasn't doing anything. But my girl, Juvia, with Accessorize Your Life, she had this lip sleeping mask in her video, and she was remarking that she uses it consistently. And that really stood out to me because I know that I never used it that way. I would have it by my bed, and I would use it some nights, and then I would use something else. I would just have like Chapstick, the Laneige Sleeping Balm, my Acard Lip Restoration. I would have all these products by my bed, and I would just use each of them. And I never used it consistently. And now that I can't open my Acard, and I'm running out of my Chapstick, I have been really just using this and this only. I got this around Christmas time, and I got it in a trio set, 1 full size, and then the 2. What's wrong, babe? I'm almost done. I got this in the full, I got 1 full size and then 2 little sizes like this. And I do think that was a great deal. But I don't know how much the individual ones cost, so I'm not sure that I would just repurchase just the one by itself, because I'm not sure how much the price on that would be. But the trio set that I got, I do think that that was a good value. And I am really just taking stock of how it looks on my lips. Like I've mentioned in the video, I think the masks are really drying my lips out, my skin out horribly. And this is just very soothing on my lips. It adds a shine to my lips. It makes my lips feel very hydrated and moisturized. And so I will put this on my lips before I go to bed at night, or on the weekend when I could just wear it all day. I'll put this on, and I just like the way it feels, and I like the way it makes my lips feel more hydrated and less chapped. So this I have definitely had a change of heart about, and again, that change has been for the better. Next, I want to talk to you about this Fenty Diamond Balm. Fenty Diamond Balm, and this is in the shade Cognac Candy. Now, when I first had this on my channel, when I was demoing new products, wasn't such a fan of this. It doesn't swatch good. So I kept trying to swatch it and show you guys what it looked like. And again, it still doesn't swatch well. And then I remember that I said it's very glittery. And so the way that I found to make it work for me, and the way that I have been loving on my skin, is that I will go in with my little highlighter brush, and I would just buff it into the skin. I would just blend it in and just keep blending it, so those glitter particles are not the thing that shines through, that I could just actually see the shade and not the glitter on my cheeks. So I put it on and I make sure that I'm buffing it into the skin. And I think it looks so good that way. I think that when I buff it into the blush, into the bronzer, that it just makes it look just so radiant on the skin, and it doesn't look so glittery. So I have been using this around the clock now. This has become almost my favorite highlighter. It's up there with all my highlighters. I don't even know that I have a favorite one. I do like the Color Rain one, of course, but this is up there with all my highlighters. I don't mind reaching for this, and I reach for this over and over again. So this is definitely a product that I have had a change of heart about, and I am not mad at it. I've had a change of heart for the better with this product. And again, I reach for this over and over again. But you have to make sure that you're buffing it in, so the glitter, that's not all you see is glitter. So buffing it into the skin, for me, that's what makes this a winner for me. And that's why I've had a change of heart about this product. Next, I want to talk about this beauty sponge, this beauty blender. When I hauled this product, really wasn't a fan of this. Y'all, all I see is my exercise elliptical. That must be trying to tell me something. I need to get on it. So back to this beauty blender. I was, when I hauled it, I said, it's okay. And I said it didn't measure up to my Color Rain sponge, because my Color Rain sponge is bae. It is so soft. It's still one of the softest sponges that I have ever used. This beauty blender, it does have its faults. Already has a rip right here. And then I have another rip forming right here. So those are the negatives about the sponge, but the shape of the sponge is what I love. The little teardrop. I like this because I can dip it in powder and it gets right up into the corners of my eye. I can turn it this way and it just fits so nicely, and it allows me to go in and set my concealer. I really like the shape of this. Now with the other sponges that I have, they kind of have that little wedge where, it's good for putting on your foundation, but getting into the corners of your eye, not so much. But this sponge gets right up in there. And so that's why I like, because sometimes I will use my brush. A lot of times, actually, I use my brush to go in and set the powder underneath my eye. But one product that we're going to talk about in a minute, I noticed that when I use powder to set my under eyes, that this beauty blender is perfect for that. And so now, because of that, I find myself using it, you know, just in general, picking up powder with it and using it in general, not just because I have to use it with this particular product, but just because it fits so nicely. And I'm loving, actually, because of this product that I'm not too happy about, I love using this sponge definitely for setting my powder. So I just like this because it's the perfect shape, and yeah, it fits nicely in the inner corner. Now what I will say is that I don't find that this sponge is really that absorbent. I can go and wet it and run it under water and have to squeeze it out, and then I'll set it down and I'll continue my makeup process. And when I go to use it, I feel like it's almost dry. Like I feel like it doesn't hold the moisture very well, but you know, I guess that's not a deal breaker because I still use it over and over because, like I said, I just love the way it fits nicely in the inner corner of my eye, picks up the powder and presses it in really nicely. So this beauty sponge, which I think I have 2 or 3, I'm not sure if I picked up a trio pack. It was a Christmas edition. I think it came with 3 beauty blenders and 3 soaps. And I haven't even used the other ones yet, but I think this was a good deal. Now, would I buy the beauty blender by itself? Probably not. But the trio pack, that was a good buy. So I have been enjoying this sponge more than I thought I would. And like I said, for the reasons I just talked about, I have had a change of heart about this beauty sponge or this beauty blender, and it has been a change for the better. Next, I want to talk to you about this Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. Now, I bought this because I saw it advertised on Instagram that Too Faced was having a sale, and this was at a rocket bottom price, and I felt like I wanted to try it. It was so cheap, and I just jumped on it. So I looked at a couple of YouTube videos trying to determine what was the shade for me, and I still bought wrong. So this is in the shade Cocoa, which is not a concealing color for my under eyes. It's not a highlighting color. Even though I don't really highlight, this is just nothing that's going to add a little brightness underneath my eyes. So I have tried to use it previously to contour. Didn't work out very well because I found that I wasn't comfortable using cream products or liquid products. But the more and more I tried to use it, I became a little bit more comfortable with it. And when I started to notice that it looked like it was going to go bad, I started to pick it up more and more and start using it. And that is when I started to change my mind about it. So I did use it to contour today. I contoured my cheeks. I went in and contoured my jawline, and I did a little contouring here around my hairline. And to sculpt my nose, I went in with this, and like I said, I've been using it more and more, and I am starting to like this. I want to really pick it up in the right shade for highlighting my under eyes, but this as a contour, this is growing on me. So I would definitely say that this has been a change of heart for me and a change for the better. This is what the shade looks like. This is definitely the wrong shade for my under eyes, but it's the perfect shade for contouring. And like I said, I have been loving this. The doe foot is big, but I find it's the perfect size just to get in right here, and just around my hairline, and just to sculpt out my nose just a little bit. So this, you guys, was a good buy after all, and I am all for it. This has just definitely been a change for me, and it's been a change for the better. My last product that I want to talk about is this ColourPop No Filter Concealer, and I have the shade Rich Tan. Now I have purchased, this is the second purchase of this concealer for me. Now I used the first one and I was all for it. With this one, not so much anymore. Now, one thing that I'm not feeling on this concealer is the shade anymore. Like I said, I like a little bit of more of a not a highlighted look. I keep saying highlighted, but I like a little bit more brightness. And this shade just isn't giving it to me as far as brightness. The dogs are out today. And so I'm not liking the shade, but that doesn't have anything to do with the formula. What I don't like about the formulas, that's my boy. Lucky, 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 lucky. I know, baby. I know. Shush, shush, shush. Let me get him settled. Okay, he's joined us. Okay, so what I'm not feeling about this concealer any longer is the amount of creasing that it's doing, the amount of settling underneath my eyes. I'm not feeling that. And that is actually how I started and why I started to use the Beauty Blender to dip it into powder and press it up underneath my eyes. I started doing that because I'm trying to make sure to press it in to make sure that this concealer is set and it's not going to move. And before that, I never dipped my sponge in powder and started pressing it in. But because of this concealer, I had to start doing that. So that is why this is not a fave for me anymore, just because it started to crease. I've also used this as a concealer to set my eyelids. I've used it as a eye primer. And let me tell you, when I came home from work after I used this concealer as an eye primer, it was a hot mess. My eyelids were all creased. The eyeshadow had worn down. It just looked horrible. It had faded. It was a hot mess. And so I would never use this as an eye primer anymore. And I just really don't enjoy using it on my under eyes anymore either. I just do so because I'm almost done with it, so I want to finish using it up. But again, like I said, I never would have started the pressing of the powder if it had not been for this concealer, because I had to do something, because this was just creasing and separating under the eyes, and I never noticed that it had done that before. But when it did, that's what made me start dipping my sponge, which I do like doing that now. So, but this just would not be another repurchase for me. This I have changed my mind about, and it has not been for the better. So those are all the products that I want to talk to you about in today's video. Leave me a comment below and let me know if you have any products that you've had a change of heart about. Some products that either you had a high opinion of and now you changed your mind, or products that you just really didn't care for, but now you're suddenly feeling them. So let me know below if you have any of those products in your stash. And that just completes today's video. Please, if you did enjoy the video for today, please consider subscribing to my channel, giving this video a thumbs up, and ringing the notification bell. That just lets you know each and every time that a video goes up. And share the channel, because you know I don't mind. And lastly, please know that you are always welcomed and wanted here on my channel. And with that said, thank you so much for tuning in to today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you real soon. Bye.